Good morning. This is Mary of Ken Buster Ministries, and thank all of you that were with me yesterday for my live Bible study. We normally were supposed to have Bible study yesterday in the home, but some of the ladies were so wanting to be with me on Bible study. So what they did is they asked me to do it live on Facebook, like I do the high five, and so I did, and there were 72 people that watched that Facebook Live. But by the end of the day, obviously I said something that Facebook didn't agree with, so they took it down. And so thank you all for, I think it was about 100 that by the time it was taken off that watched it. But today, what I was talking about yesterday is tonight at sundown, tonight, the new year begins. Now the new year is, if you look in Exodus chapter 12, there's two New Years that, actually four, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But there's the New Year that counts the years from Adam is called Rosh Hashanah, and this year it's 5780. And that's how many years that they've been counting since Adam. Now, but in 1312 BC, in the book of Exodus in chapter 12, starting in verse 1, now the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt. This month shall be the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. And so tonight at sundown begins the first month of the Hebrew biblical New Year. So they have a civil New Year and they have a biblical New Year. So this begins, it's called the first month in the Bible. And when you see it's the first month, they're talking about this month right now. And it's in after they came out of Babylon, they started naming the months. Like all our months are named. Like January is named by the Roman Janus god, and so forth. Mars is the March god. March is a Mars god of Mars god of war, because that's when they would start going to war. And so this is the first month at sundown tonight, and on day 14 is the day that Jesus was crucified on the cross. And so this begins a biblical New Year. And we're making a lot about the blood of Jesus right now, because Revelation chapter 12 says in the last days when Satan comes down because he knows his time is short, we overcome not by medical science, not by the government bailout, not by anything else, but we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So there's much being made about the blood, or there needs to be much made about the blood. I think a lot of pastors need, so that they can teach their people, because the church is really anemic. The life of the flesh is in the blood, but the life of the church is also in the blood. There's never been a great awakening or revival or anything unless there first has been the preaching, teaching, praying, and singing about the blood of Jesus. If you're anemic, you will go to the doctor and they will give you a blood transfusion. What the church needs right now is a blood transfusion. But let's not forget about the bread, because the bread, if you remember in Exodus chapter 12, when it was the first Passover, when they ate, the blood protected them from the destroyer, yes. But when they were inside, they were told to eat the entire lamb. Inside, they had to eat the heart and the liver and the kidneys. And what happened is, because they were obedient to what God told them to do, those that had heart trouble, when they ate the heart of the lamb, their heart was healed. It said in Psalms, in the Psalms in it says that there was, and they left with silver and gold, and there was not one feeble one among them. And that comes from the bread. And so we're going to be talking about communion for the next couple of weeks, and pray that they don't take this down. Amen. God bless you. Bye-bye.